Hello everybody, and a very warm welcome to today's video. Today I'm talking to you about choosing the correct flight training organisation for yourself and for your training. So we're going to be a few things we're going to go through in this video, and we're going to be going through the three main flying training organisations in the UK and the EU, and what to look at for flight training, and what flying school suits you best, what you should look at and what you should look out for, and personal experiences and stuff like that. So the three main flight training organisations in the UK and the EU are L3 Aviation Academy, formerly known as CTC, you've got CAE Oxford, and you've got FTE Jerez, or FTE Jerez, however you want to pronounce it, because some people pronounce it differently. So the three main are based, you've got L3, which is based down in Southampton, Bournemouth, they've got a space in Coventry, I believe, and then across the seas they're in New Zealand and Arizona. You've got Oxford, who are obviously based in Oxford, but they've got bases in Brussels, I believe, India, and also out in Arizona in America. And you've got FTE, which is based down in southern Spain, which is just its own sort of little organisation, just on their own. There's no sort of out branches there at FTE, just their sort of own little thing going on. So what to look at is, I always started off by looking at reviews from what other people have said. Now, personally experienced, I first looked at FTE as the flying school. I sort of like the idea of it. It hasn't got any out branches. It's not a major company. It's just their own little thing going on down in southern Spain. They're sort of less commercial than the likes of Oxford and L3. But then that has its perks. That doesn't have its perks. Like you look at L3 and Oxford, they've got a state-of-the-art simulators. They've got state-of-the-art systems, and they're obviously getting a lot of money injected into their sort of training organisations. Every one of the three main schools all fly the same kind of aircraft. I think L3 have got the most modern fleet, shortly followed by Oxford and FTE, both sort of level pegging in a way. All around the same sort of cost. Obviously we're talking way over £100,000 for all three. No matter where you study, each of them do have their own financial aspects in a way. You've got FTE, which have their own accommodation on site, whereas with L3 and Oxford, some of that's at an applied cost, or you have to supply funding for that elsewhere. Obviously, depending on the sort of where you want to study. I know that FT obviously have got a confirmed sort of, the students stay all on site and it's sort of next to the airport kind of thing, so it's quite easy. Whereas I know with people with L3 have to get like a house share, a student house share, and stuff, so on and so forth like that. So that's obviously adding to the cost. And then little things such as, what you don't think of is, if you're getting a student house share in Bournemouth, for example, where's the money coming from for food? And obviously you need to eat and drink to survive, and obviously healthy diet is a healthy mindset with them. At 14 really important ground exams is what you kick off with at all schools. You kick off with the ground exams kind of first. Also, another thing to look at is the results that students are walking away with. So the majority of the three main schools are all positive results. There's no negativity at all. The majority of schools in the entire sort of Europe and the UK all got incredible results. It's because they're sort of all taught to the same standard, which is obviously set by the CAA and by the schools. So looking at results, who gets the best pass grades and who's got the best airline placements maybe is something else you want to look at. That leads on nicely to airline placements. Now, the three main schools are all linked really heavily with the likes of your EasyJet, occasionally Ryanair, British Airways, BA City Flyer, Flybe, the list goes on. Going to one of them three name schools, a lot of people think that you're going to get a secured job at the end of it. That is not true. No way can you get a secured job on any training program. They can't sign you up with a contract when you start your training just to turn around and say, we can guarantee you there's a job at the end of it. Because there's no guarantee that you're going to pass them exams, and you do not know what the industry can do. Even if you're on a mentored MPL program, for example, Flybe at the minute are in absolute financial turmoil, and if you're currently on their MPL, you don't really know what the situation is, you know. I mean, there's no way you're guaranteed that job at the end, even if you're on an MPL program, because you don't know what the industry is to hold. And an MPL program is very tying, such as EasyJet, British Airways, all of them programs are very tied to that one airline. where you see your friends going off to sort of other airlines and you're sort of binded to one. That's something else you've got to look at on the NPL programs, but that's going to be coming up in a completely different video. The likelihood, like I say, of job on completion, there's no way in a million years that someone can sit there and guarantee you a job at the end of your training, because that's just impossible. That's a lie if they're telling you that, and that's coming from people that I've spoken to, have experience with, that was told at the start we're going to get you a job at the end. And a lot of schools do like to try and sell that, and it isn't very good at all. But if you do the good grades, if you do pass well and you get good grades and you go through as a great student, which the majority of people do, then a job on completion is sort of, the opportunity for a job on completion is there. The locations of the schools, that's something else you want to look at. If you want to stay local and don't want to be very far away, maybe if one of the major schools isn't for you, the likes of Stapleford or the FTA down in Brighton, they're the schools that like to stay all on the same sort of site. So if you don't want to sort of go off to Arizona, or if you want to go off to New Zealand, then that is something else you can look at. So the location is quite important. If you're quite a strong sort of family person, then maybe going off to New Zealand for 12 months isn't the greatest of things to be planning. I know it would be great to see the world, but I mean, realistically, you could be sitting there going, I won't miss my family, but after a couple of months, I'm pretty sure you will. On the side, don't just follow your friends. If you've got friends in the same situation and they all like the idea of L3, but you've got your heart set on Oxford, follow your heart. There's a reason why Oxford is pointing, or why Oxford is attracted to you, sort of thing, or why you're attracted to Oxford. Don't just follow your friends, because you won't enjoy it as much. And you know, at the end of the day, when you start your course, you're going to meet a load of friends. So that's the main sort of thing when choosing a flight training school. It's obviously goes to all the open days, and don't just look at the three main schools. There's many schools in the UK. Looking at Stapleford, you've got FTA down in Brighton, you've got Bristol Ground School. Look around, because it's the little ones that might be the one for you. You don't want to sort of put all your eggs in one basket in a way. And another thing is, with the smaller schools, you tend to find the cost is so much more cheaper, and you're not paying that incredible amount of money that you are at one of the major schools. So there we go, that is about it for this video. I hope you have enjoyed it and I hope it's been helpful. Any questions, don't hesitate to ask me in the comments below. Please do give it a like, and if you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you very much. Goodbye.